Well, my next guest on Cross Rhythms Radio is a lady who's been a city councillor for many years and is now the new Lord Mayor of Stoke-on-Trent. Cllr Joan Bell joins me here at Cross Rhythms. Joan, hello.
Hello.
Nice to see you.
And you.
Thank you very much for coming in. So let's talk a bit about the Lord Mayor role, first of all. What does a Lord Mayor do?
Oh, so many things. We get invited to loads of different events that are going on throughout the city. We're there to support various groups. So if we're asked to go anywhere, we go. And sure. we like to find out just what's going on in the city, really. Yeah. So it means a lot of travelling around and meeting new people, which is wonderful.
Yeah. And I would imagine that in that role, you there's probably a surprising number of people, of charities, of organisations that you come across, all doing really very positive things in the city.
Well, it just says it all about Stoke-on-Trent. It's an amazing city.
Yeah.
So many people give freely of their time for charity and fundraising and just caring for other people. And I've always been really proud to be a member of this city.
Now, you were first elected to Stoke-on-Trent City Council 40 years ago. And so you're kind of, you know the council inside and out. You know our area inside and out. Tell me a bit about your background. Were you born and raised in the Potteries?
Born and bred in Stoke-on-Trent, yes, and really proud of that. I love the city. It's great. I've always worked in the city. I started my working life working with young children in primary schools.
Yeah.
I've also worked for Stoke College as an outreach development officer, which was a fabulous job. Love that. And at Longton College, which is part of Stoke College, as an outreach worker.
Okay. So where did your journey into politics begin, and how did that start?
It actually started when I was 4 years old. My grandmother and grandfather were staunch Labour people, and they used to take me along to rallies with my little flag, and I used to wave this flag.
Right.
And I think that set the seed, really. I was always interested in politics.
So that's really quite a young age, 4 years old, to kind of for that journey to start. And so how did it develop from there?
Well, when I was in my teens, I used to go out and help various politicians in the area, knocking on doors and that sort of thing. And it's just gradually developed from that. I knew that one day I'd like to be a councillor. Yeah. And so that day came.
Yeah. I mean, I would imagine that over the 40 years that you've seen a lot of change politically in the city.
Yes, most of the time where I've been a councillor, Labour have been in control of the city. It's gone up and down, new parties have come in and out. But it's mostly been controlled by Labour while I've been there. Yeah.
Certainly in more recent years, you've chaired the Adult Social Care Committee as part of your work as a councillor. Just briefly tell me what that committee does.
Well, it's a scrutiny committee, which means that we scrutinise health and social care. And I've always believed that you can't do proper scrutiny sitting around a table and talking about it. You need to go out into the community, talk to the people who are receiving various treatments and that sort of thing, just to see how effective we are. So that's what I did. I took my committee out many, many times and talked to loads of people in the city, found out what their opinions were of what we were providing, what they thought we should provide, and that sort of thing. And that's why I chose my charity, because we met people who had dementia and families with people that had dementia, and we realised that there was a bit of a gap there.
Okay. Let me come on to that in a bit more detail in a moment. But in terms of just the kind of the overview of adult social care, that's just a massive part of the delivery of council services operations. It's in terms of the finances. It takes up a massive part of the council's budget. Alongside children's services as well, and there's pressures in all of these things, aren't there? But in terms of your work as a chair of that committee. We'll focus on dementia in a moment, but how would you assess where things are at in terms of the delivery of adult social care in the city?
I think we're doing quite well, actually. When we went out into the community and talked to various groups, we found that most of them were satisfied with the care that they were receiving.
Okay.
And so we were quite content to take that back to committee and make any recommendations that we got from those visits.
Yeah, but you talked about a gap in provision around dementia specifically. So explain a bit more about that.
Well, dementia's one of those things that people often are in denial of for a long time. People think, I'm getting old, I'm getting a bit forgetful, and they don't think I've got dementia, and the families don't think they've got dementia. So once they actually are told that they've got dementia, it's a turning point in their lives, really, and what comes next. And the feeling that we got was that there wasn't enough that comes next. There wasn't enough provision, there weren't enough places for them to go and feel comfortable. And when a person in the family's got dementia, it just doesn't affect them. It affects everybody in that family. Mm-hmm. They suffer with them and they get frustrated with them. And it's a very difficult time. I've experienced it personally with my mother, so I do know what they're going through.
Yeah. So incredibly difficult. Are there examples where certain organisations are doing really well in terms of what they're providing for people with dementia or their families?
Yeah, yes, there are some. I mean, Dougie Mac, for example, are doing a wonderful job with their dementia centre, but there's not enough of them.
Right. Yeah.
That's wonderful. If that was all over the city, fabulous. Yeah. But it isn't. And that's what I want to try and provide.
And how do you think you'll be able to help in that regard in terms of widening that excellent provision?
What I felt there needed to be was far more centres and meeting places where people could go who had dementia with the families, with the carers or supporters,
right?
Where they could do activities together and actually be able to feel that they've done something positive and they're achieving something, which is very hard when you've got dementia. For example, I visited Port Vale Football Club, who are amazing. They do so much good stuff, and they've got a dementia group there, and they do all sorts of activities. And they said to me, "Would you like to come and listen to our choir?" And I went and listened to the choir, and I was frankly quite amazed because I didn't realise that given an old-fashioned song, they would remember every word of it. And they did, and it was wonderful. And if we could do that sort of thing in different places in the city, it would be great.
Okay.
And I think there's a real place for schools in the city to help with that.
Okay.
Because I've been into several schools and talked to the children in the schools, and I've been really surprised that they know what dementia is. They've experienced it with their grandparents or other people, and they know what it is. So we must get them to understand how they can help with that. So at the moment, we've contacted all the schools in the city to ask if they've got a room somewhere in their building where we could use perhaps once a week with students helping and bring in people with dementia and their helpers and supporters.
Right, okay. That sounds really interesting. Is it early days in terms of, how schools are responding to that?
It's early days, but the response has been fabulous.
Okay.
Yeah, very positive, yeah.
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah.
Well, we look forward to hearing a bit more about how that develops and progresses. But, you know, as Lord Mayor this year, you are using this year in office to, you know, to raise awareness about dementia and to, you know, help in doing so bring about, you know, better provision for the people of the city as well.
Yes. And I want to be clear about that, because I don't look on this as being for this year, for my mayoral year.
Yeah.
This is a start, and I want something that's sustainable.
Yes.
When I've gone, I want it to still be there.
Yeah.
And it's going. The charity is called Dementia Stoke, because I want it to be all the money to be spent in Stoke.
Okay.
And that's because we have such high numbers. You know, over 7,000 people in Stoke with dementia that we know about.
And is Dementia Stoke an established charity, or is it?
We've established it. It's a new one.
Okay.
New one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, that's really interesting. So, if people are listening to this and they'd like to find out more or engage on the issue in terms of dementia or maybe the work of the charity Dementia Stoke, you know, what would they do?
They can get in touch with my secretary, Lisa Powell, at stoke.gov.uk and offer whatever they can.
Yep.
We should be very glad to hear from them.
So, just a few weeks into your time as Lord Mayor, have you got one or two highlights so far, just in these first few weeks?
Gosh, there's been so much. There really has. It's just been amazing. We went to a young people's graduation at the university a few weeks ago, and it was for primary school children. So they were dressed in their robes and everything. It was absolutely fabulous. That was. We've been to loads of charities and fundraisers, and people are raising money for us. Stoke-on-Trent Male Voice Choir are doing 6 concerts for us throughout the city, and we're having the proceeds from that.
Wow.
MS Monday group have been doing cake making and all sorts of things to raise money, and we've got groups doing that all over the city. Stoke's an amazing city. When you ask people for help, you get it.
Yeah. The role of Lord Mayor is quite historic. I don't know, you know, I'm not going to quiz you and put you on the spot in terms of the history of it, but in terms of, there is, you know, a little bit of regalia and you know, there's various things that you will use as a Lord Mayor. There are the chains in office still.
Oh yes, I have the chains on every time I go out.
Are they heavy?
Very. when you've got various functions from morning till night, it starts to ache a bit.
Right.
Yeah, but I think it's important.
Yeah.
'Cause people love it. People just love it. You know, you get children coming up and saying, "Can I hold your chain?"
Right.
And you know, it's so important to them to have that.
Yeah. And is that gold? Is it a golden chain?
Oh yes, yeah. Securely kept.
Solid gold. Yeah, it's heavy.
It's very heavy.
Yeah, fabulous. Okay, if people are listening in and they would like to engage with you as Lord Mayor, maybe you invite you along to have a look at what they're doing in the community, events and things like that. Again, what do people do?
They just write to my secretary,
Yep.
Lisa, and we'll arrange that. Yeah, we're trying to fit in as much as we possibly can this year. Love going round and seeing people.
Yeah.
Stoke-on-Trent's a fabulous place, and the people are fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's great to see you in the Cross Rhythm studio. Thank you very much for visiting us today.
Thanks for inviting me.
We wish you well with the rest of your year.
Thank you.